What is up, you guys? It is your boy John here from Puma Plow. Welcome back to another Platinum Edition DLC Let's Play here from the Xbox One. Do appreciate you guys clicking on the video. How's it going? And welcome. Welcome. Alright, Combine standoff. Commence. Good job, guys. Hey, that just means we have the field done, right? That's all it means to me. We got the field done. We'll just bully him a little bit. You know, no big deal. Ooh. We want to keep our straw somewhat in the center here. Since we are baling this field, we are round baling this field, of course. If you guys watched the last video in the series, you would know this. You would know this. Are these going to be, like, full? Is that other... Oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. This other combine still has barley in it, too. So in the last... Oh, it's got a lot of barley in it. In the last video, I was talking a bit about the last time I was involved with... I guess you could call it real farming. Where my dad works was buying straw, like bales of straw. Towards the end of the last video, if you guys watched, you know what I'm talking about. But we were baling, or we were not baling. A guy was baling. He was selling them to my dad's store, or where my dad works, and it was around the corner from the farm, so we went with the 995. Or I went with the 995. Dad was there in the pickup truck, and I think we hauled a couple wagons over there. Yeah, we did. We hauled two wagons over there, and which was fun because it was, you know, a couple miles down the road. I got to pull wagons, and it's like, hey, it's real farming. Yeah, cool. You know, I thought I was pretty cool. It was a long time. This has been a long time ago, by the way. And so we get over there, and they're baling like crazy, and a couple other guys showed up to buy some straw, and Dad's boss showed up, and Dad's boss's dad showed up. Okay, he saw him pass out at 31 Flavors. It sounded very serious. Anyway, cool points to those of you that get that movie reference. But anyway, so Dad was there with his truck. I don't think Dad had a trailer. And then the boss showed up with a truck and a big trailer, like an 18-footer. And then Dad's... Oh, wow. How many times can I say Dad's? Dad's boss's dad showed up. We'll call him Fred. That's not his name at all. And that'd be funny if it was. It's not, though. So Fred showed up with a big truck and trailer, and I believe somebody else showed up too, like another family member of the boss or something showed up too with a big truck and trailer. And because you know you want to get your straw put away to keep it dry and keep the mice out of it and all that stuff. So they show up, and you know, basically the guys that were baling would bale and stack it on a wagon, and then we would use the tractor to pull the wagons or they would drop off the wagons right next to the road, and then we would transfer the bales from the wagons to like a trailer and the trucks and all this stuff. And actually the guy that was baling, which actually I featured him in another video, but that's another story. He had his son there, and his son was pretty little at the time, and he looked at Fred, okay? Looked at Fred, and never met the guy before, you know, that day. And he goes, "Mister, what's on your leg? Why is it all red?" Yeah. Fred was wearing a pair of jeans, and he didn't realize... He didn't realize that somehow he got himself with a bale hook. And yeah, it got him good. So immediately Fred's son, which is my dad's boss, like went over to Fred and like, "Hey, let me lift up your pant leg and let's take a look." And immediately they took him to the hospital. Keep in mind, we're out in the country here, guys. To get to the hospital, if you needed to get to the hospital, you know, like in a hurry, you're still talking like a good 15-20 minutes, like if you're rolling, you know. So I know it's not that far out of the country. There's some of you that are a lot farther out in the country from, you know, a hospital. But around here, that's a pretty good ways out, you know, around here. So yeah, so Fred got taken to the hospital immediately, and actually Fred showed back up that night after he got a couple stitches and a nice bandage all over his leg. And I believe Fred came back to drive the truck that he had. I believe, anyway. So it was crazy because, you know, it's okay. Oh wow, when you're harvesting straw or wheat and you're baling the straw, it's summertime. You know, it's summer. Well, so summer it's obviously light a lot longer, and so we were over there forever that night. It ended up being a really long night, and we ended up using the 995 with like the headlights going, and the truck have headlights and all these lights we had on different vehicles and stuff, and we got it done. You know, we got what we kind of not contracted, but like had agreed upon that we were gonna get. They got a bunch of bales too, and it ended up being like a big shindig. We had a bunch of people there, and it was kind of cool. But so it was pitch black, and we had, I think, about a wagon, one full wagon load. That's what it was, one full wagon load. We brought back to the farm to put in one of the buildings, because, you know, we have buildings and we can park wagon loads of straw in there. Not so much now because we have our buildings kind of full of stuff, but back then we had more room in the buildings because it was before we had a lot of like our little tractors and our shop built in there and stuff like that. It was before all of that, so it's been a while. And so Dad gave me the job, and, you know, it was fine. I was cool with it, but to drive the 995 back to the farm, I was towing one full wagon of straw and one empty wagon, just an empty wagon. And oh boy, did it ever scare me, because I couldn't see behind me. I could not see behind me, and that freaked me out. Now, I knew that behind me was 3 trucks, pickup trucks, and then 2 of them I think had wagons or trailers of straw. So they had lights on behind them. And you know, everybody had their flashers on and all that stuff, but it just kind of creeped me out that I could see in front of me just fine. I could not see behind me. Because you never know if some rogue car comes up behind you at 90 miles an hour, you know, bye-bye. So it kind of creeped me out that I just couldn't see. And then when I turned in our road, there was a parade of cars behind me. And I'm like, oh, I'm so glad they slowed down, because that would have been bad. You see, could have been bad. But, you know, it was technically a safe thing to do, because I had people that knew where I was going, knew when I would be slowing down, because Dad was right behind me, you know, but I couldn't see him, so it was kind of scary. At least when you're hauling empty wagons, you can see, and potentially somebody would be able to see your lights. Those wagons that we have, first off, they're not even ours, but they do not have lights on them, because most wagons wouldn't have lights on them, because you use them during the day and you use them on your farm. Back in the day when farmers used to use wagons, not so much anymore, especially around here. I couldn't tell you the last time I actually saw a wagon in use. Probably somebody baling some straw, but that's pretty much it. So there you go. So towards the end of the video, if you're wondering where this story came from, it was at the end of the last video when I started talking about baling in general. And I figured I would talk a little more about it. And actually, the other time that we baled, and I mentioned this in the last video, but it was on my dad's cousin's ground, which is at the end of our road, out by the main highway, down at the farm there. And let's see, what happened? Oh, some guys were bailing. That's what happened. The guys were bailing, and they blew a front tire on their tractor. And so we already had the 995 out there, because we were pulling wagon loads of straw around with it. And it's like, hey, just throw the 995 on there, guys, real quick, and then you can keep working, because they were sent somebody for a spare tire. But their main farm was, like, kind of far away. So it's like, no, just use the 995. It's sitting here, you know. So it was kind of cool to see the 995 bailing back in the day. You know, a little bit of field work for that boy, the old 995 there, you know. It's kind of neat. But, yeah, those real, nowadays, I'm scatterbrained, can you tell? Nowadays, when Dad's place that he works, they buy straw. They buy it from a guy who just bales and dumps them on the ground. The thing is, he sells them cheaper because you have to go pick them up yourself. The guys that we were getting them from before, they're more expensive, but they corral them onto wagons for you, and then you come and get them off wagons. So it's, I guess, quote unquote, easier on you as the customer to just get them off a wagon, as opposed to having to get them out of a field. You know what I'm saying? because picking them up one by one out of a field would suck. Just saying, unless you have like a bale picker or something, which of course where Dad works they don't have anything like that. It's called 2 guys, pickup truck, and a trailer. Or maybe 3 guys, you know, put 2 guys on the trailer or whatever, and then go at it from there. That could be a possibility. I don't know how they actually do it. I'm not involved. I don't work there, and I'm cool with it. I wouldn't mind like making the bales. That part would be fun, but you know, picking them up one by one off the ground to stack them real high on a trailer. No, I'm good. I'm good. I am definitely just fine without doing that. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm okay with not doing that. So there is that. All right. So bales for days. Am I right? We might be getting more bales here than we bargained for. But that's okay, right? That's okay. We should be all right. We should be all right. No worries. So I keep looking up at my top left monitor. I am currently watching Miss Stephanie Marie and Mr. Tech stream. They are playing World of Warships. It was, well, when this video comes out, it was two Wednesdays ago. Because of stuff going on with Mom, I was late getting home tonight, of course. And was unable to stream. So I was like, you know, I mean, I could have streamed. I could be streaming right now, but it's almost 9 o'clock at night. I'm not going to start a stream this late. I'm sorry. You know, if I can't, you know, start at or around my 6 p.m. time, I'm probably not going to start, because I like to be able to start then. Then it gives me a good, you know, solid at least 3 hours. At least 2 hours, depending on how tired I am. But instead, I'm like, no, I'm going to work on the YouTube side tonight, and I will stream. I don't know. I'm trying to just definitely maintain the Saturday streams. The other, if I get another stream in right now during the week, it's kind of a bonus. So nobody says that's going to happen right now. So there is that. It's a bummer. It really is a bummer. I know family's first, and family's very important, and I mean, there's reasons that I have been gone, and it's because family is important to me, and I have been, you know, living at the hospital and stuff like that. So, but it sucks that I'm unable to do the YouTube and the Twitch as much as I would like to. You know, I have already said, I think I said it in the Rattlesnake, towards the end of the Rattlesnake series, which I've already recorded all of them. I have to voice over the last one, but they're all recorded up to episode 100. Any hoozles, what I am going to be doing is not replacing that series right away. And I talk about it in the Rattlesnake series quite in depth. But with everything going on, I just simply don't have the time to replace that series. And actually, because I want to replace that series with at least 2 other series. One in American Truck and one in Gold Rush the game is what I would like to do. I would love to start picking up both of those games and maybe reworking the schedule just in general a little bit, and pump out a bunch of American Truck, because American Truck is a lot of fun. Now, I have actually been toying with something again, because, you know, back in the day, guys, I had the Farm Sim, the SciTech side panel, or the wheel and side panel, and I liked it. I used it a lot. Okay, I used it a lot in Farm Sim. I used it a little bit in American Truck, and that's, well, it wasn't as sensitive as it should have been for American Truck. It was great for Farm Sim, though, you know, it was really good for Farm Sim, and it was decent for American Truck. But I have been toying with the idea. I have been toying with it, and I'm not saying it's going to happen today or tomorrow, but I have been toying with the idea of getting another steering wheel. It does hurt my shoulder. However, I think it's more about the way I sit, and the positioning of the old SciTech wheel wasn't the best, let's say. So I think that had a lot to do with it. So there's that. So I have been contemplating getting a wheel. I don't know what I would go with right now. I know it'll be one of the Logitechs. I don't know the number offhand, G9 something or G something. I don't know. Steffi just got one. You guys know Stephanie Marie 421. She just got one, and it's kind of like, I'm not jealous, but I'm a little jealous. If I was going to record a bunch of American Truck, which, you know, I would like to at least record some, you know, start a single player Let's Play and see where we go. But if I'm going to do that, I feel like a steering wheel would be a lot better compared to keyboard driving or controller. Now, controller is an option. I can, you know, definitely use a controller on PC. But I just think it would be better. I'd be able to make better videos, smoother quality, you know, all that stuff. I think it would just be better with a wheel. Now, I kind of don't like the way a wheel makes my desk, because there's just no room. But for some things, and I probably wouldn't use it like in my farm sim stuff much at all, maybe, because keyboard's fine for me for farm sim. I'm totally happy with that. I'm not happy with American Truck on a keyboard. I'll be honest. I resisted for a long time. And actually, as of recording this, I played some American Truck last night. I went in and just drove like 2 loads. There was a podcast I wanted to watch. And I decided to take a little bit of John time just away, like not be John from Puma Plow for a little bit. And not be John, the guy that watches his mom sleep in the hospital kind of guy. And just take some John time, because I need John time. You know, and that sounds wrong, but I don't mean anything wrong. I just mean I need time, you know, to myself sometimes, and just put on a podcast or watch some YouTube videos, play some games that I want to play just for the sake of playing them. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and I need to do more of that, because I'm starting to go a little crazy sitting at the hospital as much as I am. But Mom really appreciates me being there, so I'm going to be there, you know? That's all there is to it. Mom appreciates me being there. She wants me to be there. I'm going to be there. You know, I have flat out told her that it is up to her if I'm there or not. And as long as she doesn't tell me to go away, which that means I'm not making her angry, so that's good. But I'll be there as long as she needs me to be there, kind of thing, you know? And it sucks because the YouTube and the Twitch are both suffering, and I see that and I realize that. But when she's better and she's home, I'm going crazy into YouTube and Twitch. I mean both. Both. I should, honestly, at this point, I kind of am starting to realize or feel like I should probably focus a little bit more on the Twitch side. My main focus for a long time has been YouTube. But I don't know if I should really switch focus or just do both, you know? I enjoy doing both. And, yeah. Now, YouTube side has actually gotten a little bit better lately because they're not demonetizing my stuff nearly as much. And now that I say that in this video, it's probably going to get demonetized. But I have not actually had to file a claim in quite some time. Like, probably a month or better. And that's awesome because it was like every week for me. I was having to file a couple claims. So it's a lot better now, and it's not as frustrating because it got to the point where it was just ungoshly frustrating to have to deal with filing claims all the time on my videos. And it's like, I don't say anything bad. Anyway, I'm not going to rant about YouTube. I'm not going to do it. I heart YouTube. I respect YouTube. I understand why they have to do what they have to do. All that stuff. I understand it. It just gets annoying sometimes. But that's okay. That's okay. And speaking of ideas to replace Rattlesnake, there's actually another idea I've kind of been kicking around in my head. But I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to tease you with it. Oh, I just overheard that barley that was in there. Whoops. Good thing there wasn't that much, huh? Okay. Alright, we will roll right back into this harvest and the baling and the picking up of all the bales next time. Until then, I'm your boy John from Puma Plow. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry for the random stories of randomness, but hey, that's just what's in my brain. Have a great rest of your day, and as always, toodles.